Woke up. Wake you up. Wake that ass up.
Program your alarm to Power 105.1 on iHeartRadio.
Good morning, USA. Yo 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 yo.
Just running a little late. What's up, Charlamagne?
Peace to the planet. Guess what day it is? Guess what day it is? Hump Day. How y'all feel out there? I feel blessed, black, and highly favored. Happy to be here another day to serve our beautiful listeners. Good morning.
That's right. It's Wednesday. It's Hump Day, middle of the week. How you guys feeling out there? Hopefully y'all feeling amazing. You're live.
Minus the BS, life is great. Good morning, Jessica Robin Moore.
What's up, GS?
Minus the BS, life is great.
That's right.
Okay? I mean, you can't stress the things that are out of your control. Some mornings you just got to wake up and remember your serenity prayer. Really every morning. Mm-hmm. But God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference.
There you go.
Yes.
How you feeling, Jess?
I feel good. So yesterday was International Women's Day.
Yes, it was.
And we had an event upstairs here in the building. It was like 300 women. Mm-hmm. That was so empowering, like to pour into each other. I was on a panel that our boss, Thea, moderated, and it was me, Danielle from Z100. Yo, love her, by the way. Helen Little, Gandhi. Not the other Gandhi, not the one y'all
Gandhi from Z100, yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And
she's actually related to that Gandhi, though.
Oh my God, for real?
Yes, she is related to
That's
Gandhi.
what's up. Wow. So it was really empowering, like because it was just about like who we are as women, why we feel we're important to ourselves and each other. So it was. I think we should have more events like that. Not only when it's like Women's History Month, but like I love stuff like that because I don't really go to a lot of those types of events. So that was really dope. Lauren came. Shout out to Angie Martinez. Everybody, just all the women in like
iHeart and in the building,
in New York. So
we need those kind of events.
Really
Anything
dope.
that keeps Jess off live. Anything that keeps Jess from going live and just blabbing her mouth. We need her.
Yeah, we should.
Anything that can distract her from doing that.
Yeah.
Yes, we need more of those.
We should have had that
Sorry,
a couple days ago.
Yes.
Yo, just please. I'm
We should have had that
sorry.
a couple days ago.
Anything that can keep her off. Anything that can keep her from going live.
Okay.
When she goes live, nothing good happens.
She needs like a parental thing on her phone. Like before she goes live, like you gotta
she didn't
check
even have a
these
scarf
two-
on.
I just.
You're right.
Yo, it really wasn't even alive, and I didn't think. Anyway, look, yesterday I want to clear something up. So I didn't know that Jenny from Forrest Gump. She didn't have AIDS, y'all. She and she did join the Black Panther.
You gotta tell people what you're talking about.
the
All of a sudden, they just
All right,
hear you talking
it's
about
Women's History
Forrest
Month,
Gump.
and what I'm doing this month, I'm going to highlight women like characters in movies that we grew up on, that we watched, like really good legendary movies. And I thought Jenny was a great example because our children changes us, right? So that's what I did. I honored her yesterday, but I said that she joined the white revolution. She joined the Black Panthers. Did not even know that. I just remember a white guy slapping her across the floor.
Well, she had a Black Panther boyfriend.
Yeah, but he was white.
I don't know if she was actually a Black Panther.
He was white though.
Yeah, this when she was doing like her whole counterculture lifestyle. But I don't think she was a Panther.
She was trying to join or something, and she didn't have
She might have
AIDS.
been like a secretary.
Yeah, something like that. But she got slapped, and
Yeah, where did you get she had AIDS?
I just thought that because
She
it was
was
around the
sick,
time that was out there, but that was when it first hit.
Yeah, she was sick.
So but she had hepatitis D, and I didn't know that. So I
No, you're not. Oh, hold on, no, you're not wrong.
Okay.
It was supposed to be HIV/AIDS. They just never said it.
Yeah, they never said it.
So where'd you get the
Yeah.
hepatitis D?
Because remember at the end,
You just talking.
No.
Have y'all
Everybody
not
in the
realized
comments,
that's what dudes just start
in
talking?
the comments, everybody was saying, Jess, that she ain't having, and people was mad. She did not have AIDS. You can't just put AIDS on everybody. I'm like, I
It
never
was
put AIDS on nobody before.
1994, and AIDS still
HIV
had a
and AIDS
stigma
was-
attached to
It was just out
But it was
there.
supposed to be HIV. It was implied that it was HIV/AIDS.
Okay, yes.
Yes,
They was like, no, it was hepatitis. But I remember Forrest asking her, he was like, when he introduced her to his son, he was like, is he sick too? And she was like, no, he's not. Like, he didn't get the AIDS. You know what I mean? So that's what I thought.
You just came in. You spoke this morning?
They're wrapping
No, I
you
didn't.
up.
I promise I didn't.
They're wrapping you up.
All right, well, let's get the show cracking. All right, Roques Khanna will be joining us now. Roques Khanna is U.S. Representative from California's 17th Congressional District.
Yes, and people are talking about him potentially running in 2028 as well for president.
Yes, and also Jalen Rose, ex-NBA player Jalen Rose, Detroit's own. What up, Doe? He'll be joining us. He has a new company he's launched. He's getting into the entertainment business. Well, he's been in the entertainment business, so he has a new flick that's going to be on Tubi. We're going to talk to Jalen Rose. Now, coming up, we got Mimi up next, front page news, so don't go anywhere. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning. Morning, everybody. We are The Breakfast Club. Let's get in some front page news. What's up, Mimi? She's here in person.
Good morning.
Hey, girl.
Mimi Brown.
Paula, Jess, how y'all doing?
Good.
Good morning. Okay, so we start this morning with growing the war. The war is growing between Israel, Iran, the United States is now entering its 5th day. U.S. and Israel forces, they have already hit about 2,000 targets inside Iran, including missile sites, weapon depots, and military command centers. Iran, they are striking back across the region with drones and missiles. We talked about this yesterday. 6 U.S. service members have been killed and hundreds more people across the Middle East have died. Now, President Trump says the strikes were necessary to stop Iran from attacking us first. Let's listen to that.
We were having negotiations with these lunatics, and it was my opinion that they were going to attack first. They were going to attack if we didn't do it. Based on the way the negotiation was going, I think they were going to attack first, and I didn't want that to happen. So if anything, I might have forced Israel's hand, but Israel was ready and we were ready, and we've had a very, very powerful impact because virtually everything they have has been knocked out now.
Now, Mimi, what's the conflict about, right? Because at first I thought it was about weapons of mass destruction. Then they said it was oil. So what is the conflict actually about? Do we know?
It's so funny you asked that because we're going to get to that because lawmakers held a briefing last night, right? Or yesterday. And they are confused as well. They said that the target keeps moving. It keeps changing. We keep hearing it's about regime change. We keep hearing, it's about weapons of nuclear weapons, but it keeps changing. We're going to get there. But meanwhile, the conflict is expanding. Israel has sent troops into southern Lebanon. Targets are Iran-backed group into Hezbollah. Now, Iran also struck the U.S. military base in Qatar, though officials say no one was injured. Now, that impact, we are also starting to feel it here at home. Gas prices jumped about 11 cents overnight. So I know we talked yesterday, they were going to jump 30 cents by the end of the week. It already jumped 11 cents overnight. And at the same time, Americans in the region, they are being urged to leave. Yesterday, Secretary of State Marco Rubio, he urged news organizations to share that the State Department's 24-hour emergency hotline. So we shared that here. We played the audio of him urging everyone in the Middle East to register their names and to get help if they need to leave. But this morning, that hotline is facing backlash because callers say that they're hearing a message telling them not to rely on the U.S. government for evacuation, and people are frustrated. Let's listen to what it's saying.
Please do not rely on the U.S. government for assisted departure or evacuation at this time. There are currently no United States evacuation points.
It just feels like they're leaving us stuck here. We read article after article and read on the State Department that we should be finding our own commercial passage home. Well, that's not very helpful when there are no flights going out.
So that woman you just heard, she was in Dubai. She said that she maxed out her credit cards trying to book one flight after another, trying to get out, only to have them canceled. So the State Department says it's working on charter flights, military flights, and some commercial options to help get Americans out. But for now, they say the best way to stay advised on how to get out is to go to the website step.state.gov.
Imagine that. Imagine them telling you that you should evacuate, then giving you a number to call, and you call, and they tell you that they can't help you with evacuation. How the hell are you just supposed to leave if you're not from there?
Yeah.
And then using your credit cards to try and get a flight, only for the flight to be later canceled.
I wonder if you get your money back because it's not domestic, it's international. So it's different rules, different regulations, different laws. So I wonder if you get your money back or how long it takes because... Ooh, that's disgusting.
It's very bad.
And remember we used to say all the time, peace to the Middle East.
We did.
Dumb as hell, not even knowing what's going on.
We did used to say that. That was a saying.
That's
because they wanted peace in the Middle East. They knew it wasn't peace there. They were hoping. There was a hope. That was a wishful thinking. That was affirmation. That's what they wanted.
Okay, thank you, Professor.
Yes. Just common sense.
And meanwhile, on Capitol
It's
Hill,
not common sense. I used to hear Martin say it all the time. Peace to the Middle East.
I remember.
No,
He
it's
just
peace
walk around
in the
saying
Middle
it.
East.
Peace in the Middle East.
But that's what they wanted. Peace in the Middle East.
That's what they wanted. But lawmakers, they are saying there is no peace in the Middle East right now. The Trump administration, they say that they briefed members of Congress yesterday behind closed doors. Many lawmakers left thinking that they have more questions now than answers. Let's listen.
You ain't got that one? No, that was not there.
Okay. Well, a lot of lawmakers, they came out, they were really upset. They said that the administration did not provide them with any answers. In fact, they were confused a lot more than when they went in. And so that's why Congress, they have that vote tomorrow.
Yeah, there's no evidence that's been presented that, the United States was under any threat of imminent attack from Iran.
Yeah.
Like, the reality is they invaded Iran because Bibi Netanyahu has wanted Iran invaded for 40 years, and he finally found someone compromised enough to do it.
Exactly.
That's true. And Khanna will be here later to talk more about that.
All right.
All right, well, coming up at 7, we have a winner in that Texas congressional race that we were talking about yesterday. We'll talk about it.
All right. And everybody else, get it off your chest. 800-585-1051. If you need to vent, call us up right now. 800-585-1051. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning.
Wake up, wake up. Wake your ass. This is your time to get it off your chest. Whether you're mad or blessed, we want to hear from you on the Breakfast Club.
Hello, who's this?
Good morning, my Breakfast Club family. It's your boy Lovey from the Bronx.
Lovey. What's up, bro?
Peace, Lovey.
Good morning, my Breakfast Club family.
How are you, sir?
What's up, bro?
I'm blessed and highly favored. First, I'm coming off my birthday. I want to talk to Charlamagne, Envy, Jess. You realize when Pac said they have money for war but can't feed the poor, they spent $2.4 trillion since 2000?
That number sounds about right.
Yeah.
That's crazy. But it only takes 11 billion to feed all of the poor across the world. So you're telling me we have money for debt, but we have exhausted funds for a war, but we can't feed the poor?
That's what Tupac said.
Yeah.
And he's absolutely right.
It's crazy. But Charlamagne, I went online. I've been trying to get tickets for the Black Effect podcast. Me and Wifey pulling up. Do I got to buy special tickets for me and Wifey?
No, I'm gonna bless you, my brother. You know, Lovey, you are a Breakfast Club super listener, and we appreciate you, man. Eddie, put him on hold. I'm gonna get tickets for you and your wifey. What wifey though? You always bringing a different wifey.
Damn.
No. What you mean? I only got one wife. Hi, Taz.
And Lovey. What Taz gonna say when you bring wifey, Lovey?
Taz,
Oh no, I'm bringing Taz.
Oh, you bringing Taz? Oh, okay, my bad. Oh, I didn't know that. All right, does she know that? Maybe. All right. Let me stay out your business. Thank you, Lovey. I'm gonna put you on hold.
Yeah, sir.
Stay out of that man business.
Crazy.
Hello, who's this?
Yo, Envy, you know the vibes. It's Mello. What's the word?
Mello, what's up, Mello? We ain't hear from you in a minute. You good?
Yeah, life is amazing. It is what it should be. Life is lifing. God is Godding, and the Bible unfolding before our eyes before you know it, man. I'm not even gonna hold you.
Now, Mello, you in Long Island,
Every day
right?
I wake up. I do. I live in Brooklyn right now. I'm from Elado. Shout out to Elado. You know the vibes.
I didn't know the UBS Center over there is an outlet too.
You said what?
The UBS Center over there that they did in Elmont is an outlet too. It's an outlet as well.
Yeah, thanks.
My mom's was over there the other day.
Nah.
She was getting it in, and she was telling me. I was like, word.
Yeah, Elado lit, but I'm not gonna hold you, bro. Every time I wake up, I see some more nonsense on the news about what we doing in the Middle East. Gas just went up 11 cents, as I just heard.
Yes, sir.
Bro, America is literally a third world country with a Gucci belt, bro. Like, can we just unplug this, plug it back in, and maybe stuff will go back to normal, bro? Because, like, this is ridiculous.
I don't think we needed to go back to normal, my brother.
I think want to reset.
Yeah, I think we need a complete.
We need Obama.
No, we don't. We need a new everything. And I think that, what we're witnessing right now is what we call building and destroying. And I mean, I think some things have to be destroyed for the right things to be rebuilt. I really, truly believe that.
Yeah, I'm just sad that a bunch of soldiers and a bunch of civilians are going to lose their life because of this. You know
Again.
Again. And there's no rhyme or reason for the reason. There is no rhyme or reason. We still don't know why there's a conflict. Like, they said weapons of mass destruction, but months ago they said that they took care of that. So we don't know.
Crazy.
We do know. Everybody knows exactly why we are in Iran right now. I told y'all earlier. It's because Bibi Netanyahu has wanted this for the past 40 years, and he finally got somebody compromised enough to do it. That's our current president.
Get it off your chest. 800-585-1051. If you need to vent, hit us up now. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning.
I'm dialing. Hey, what you doing, man? I'm dialing. I'm
calling you. This is your time to get it off your chest, whether you're mad or blessed. 800-585-1051. We want to hear from you on the Breakfast Club.
Hello, who's this?
This is Misha.
Hey, Misha. Good morning. Where you calling from?
I'm actually in Toledo right now, but I'm based out of Columbus.
Okay. Shout out to Ohio.
Well, get it off your chest, mama.
Well, I just wanted to thank you guys. Appreciate waking up to you guys, and
why you breathing so
wish
hard?
my dad. I'm walking outside and it's cold as crap.
Oh, okay. Thought you was a big back.
And I want. Well, I might be. It's okay. I just want to wish my dad a happy 75th birthday.
Hey,
he lives in upstate New
Happy
York.
born day, King.
I wish that I could be there with him, but my sister's up there now and love him to death. And
is he
thank
healthy?
you for this. Yes, he is. Yes,
That's
he
beautiful,
is.
That's the
man.
most amazing
That's
thing.
75.
That's right.
Pumping fabulous in the car.
That's beautiful.
Okay. That's
Yes.
what it is. All right,
Yes,
Ma.
but thank you guys.
All right, Ma.
Have a good one.
All right, y'all take care.
Hello, who's this?
This Boo.
Boo, what up? Get it off your chest.
Yes. Hey, good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Good morning.
All right. I done got nervous now. I was so happy to get through. So yeah, so I'm getting on my chest. My best friend was recently in a situation where he got kicked out of his house, he's not from Savannah, Georgia. He's from Louisiana, and his only family kicked him out the house. So I had to find him a spot to stay, which a coworker of mine opened his mouth and said, okay, well, he can rent a room from him. Not only to find out a month later, he was using it for his vehicle and taking his money. It just Friday, the lights get cut off in the house. He asked for $140 for the lights, and he used his card to go pay the light bill. It comes back 3 days later. The 5th day, kick him out the house.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, man, people. That's why I don't deal with people, man. People is immoral, you know.
I'm gonna be honest with you.
I just have to get that off my chest.
I didn't understand a word you said.
He said his friend was using him for his money in his car. He upset about it. That's why he don't mess with people.
Oh, was y'all a couple?
No.
Damn.
No, this is my best friend.
Oh, okay. So
I'm
he
sorry for you,
took
brother.
advantage of your friendship, basically.
There you go.
Yeah, man.
So what you gonna do about it? Y'all not friends no more? Well, what's up?
Really, in the street, somebody would have done something to him for how he tried him, because he took his car, left him in the house with no lights on for 3 days, not answering the phone, and then come back and kick him out.
I still don't understand nothing he said.
Well, you have a good one, Boo.
This conversation makes sense to you. I don't get.
No, it doesn't.
I don't get what's going on.
I just heard what
Like,
he said. Now we got Shy on the line. Now Shy want to talk to women out there because Jess was talking about pimples on her vagina.
I know you remember, Envy. Jess, I'm not coming at you at all. Woman to woman, you do not need a vagina facial, whatever you call it. You don't need the scrub that Loren wanted to offer you to try. You need a doctor's appointment. We get pimples down there. That's normal. They come, they go. But just see your physician. You got the gynecologist, a primary care physician. I wouldn't put anything on a pimple, whether it's itching, scratching, leaking, or not.
He said you got pimples on your poom poom, so you need to go to a doctor.
She said
this is a medical condition.
She said no. I didn't say
no,
anything.
it doesn't have to be a medical condition. I would rather see a doctor for it to know what's going on.
Well, do you have a?
I just said I'm a woman. I have a vagina.
You don't listen, Jess.
Yeah,
I'm just trying to figure it out because I don't know. A lot of
I'm
people
the one that
saying,
called in. I am everything _SHI. The bald head that was eating out of the pot. That's me.
What pot
Okay, I don't. Either way, I don't know what you're talking about, and I don't care. I never said I had pimples on my vagina. That's not what I said. I have
You did
ingrowns.
say you had a pimple on your vagina.
No, I did not.
That's hilarious. You are a liar. Just see a doctor. See a doctor. That's all I'm calling for.
To
Is
see
to
a
see a doctor.
doctor,
I'm not coming at you.
I'm fine.
See a doctor. Just hilarious. See a doctor. Just hilarious.
No, she's
Don't
really
play
a
with
woman.
me.
She's just a stud, crazy.
Oh.
You just be see that you hush.
What do you mean, hush?
She's really a woman. You seen her before?
No, I never seen her before.
Yes, you did.
Nah.
She's just a stud.
That's it's
See, you
not.
just insulted your whole community.
I don't care.
For no reason.
I don't care. Never had pimples on my vagina. We not even going to run with that. That ain't even cool. We not
But
doing
you said
that.
it. You just
I said
corrected
I
yourself.
had ingrowns. And thank you, Loren LoRosa, for suggesting Bush Balm. It works, and the fur oil. Thank you. I don't need to see a gynecologist. Like
what? He's walked into this one.
Yeah, I'm like, I didn't do nothing with your vagina. I don't know what happened. Well, good morning, guys.
Get it off
You
your
have any
chest.
more rumors? You got any more rumors you can volunteer, Lauren?
Well, there was a big rematch that people thought was going to happen, but it is not, and I got some details.
All right.
Rematch.
Yeah, we're going to talk about it.
All right, we'll get into that next. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning.
You're talking LL Cool, babe.
Yeah, I'm not dumbing myself down. I'm being myself.
Sources trust.
I'm the homegirl that knows a little bit about everything and everything.
The little brown girls look at you and go, I want to be like you.
Take me through that, take me through that.
She gone. The latest with Loren
Take me
LoRosa
through that, take me through that.
on the Breakfast Club.
LL Cool, babe.
Talk to me.
LL Cool Bay.
Good morning, guys.
Morning.
So yesterday I got a phone call. But before I got the phone call, there were a ton of people that were sending me this like online speculation thing that hit a few blogs. So there was something that was being kind of reported that Will Smith and Chris Rock were going to finally sit down for a one-on-one exclusive interview to address everything, get it all out and on the table with ABC.
Really?
So many people were sending me this because, I mean, I think a lot of people would want to see the conversation, but there were no like actual outlets. I saw World Star Hip Hop do it, but outside of that, I saw no outlets do it.
So no real sources. It was just people on Twitter.
And at first, when it went from Twitter to Instagram. Yes. So at first, when I saw it, I'm like, okay, let me reach out to one person that's around and just kind of see. And they're like, this would absolutely never happen, right? So then I left it alone. I'm like, I'm not even going to address it. But the internet, the way that the internet works and make things go crazy is insane. So then I got another phone call from a person, and we had a conversation, and they were just saying that, you know, they are kind of clearing it up that would never happen. This is not a real thing. And they're really, people, they were surprised that this even spread as far as it did without any real outlets calling. Like, there were outlets behind the scenes reaching out on both sides to both teams trying to figure out if this was a thing. But all the outlets kind of left it alone. But it's not happening.
I will say this. Our algorithms are completely different. I saw that nowhere.
I seen it yesterday. I seen it yesterday.
It was.
Somebody showed me.
Yeah, exactly. I think it was more of a thing like people wanted to know if it was happening, but nobody had said anything, so they were confused. Even on X, a community note started circulating because a community note responded saying that there were no official reports about it. But officially, I could tell you guys that is not happening. It's not even a conversation.
I can guarantee you that's not ever happening. And that's only because Chris Rock would never do it.
I was told it would never happen, never in all caps.
But it happened so not.
It's been a little minute.
So long ago.
Yeah.
Like, would y'all even want to see that right now?
I think I would just.
Would people care about it?
Just to see. I mean, I would watch it for sure. Yeah, they would.
I think those two brothers to sit down and have a conversation in front of everybody. I think,
everybody would watch that.
Yeah, we would tune in. But I think at this point, because I know Will Smith has talked about how it impacted him and his family and just internally himself and some of the things he had to work through to get past that moment. It's like, why bring it back? Like, why put yourself in the middle of all that mess?
I don't want to say never, because never is a strong word, but Chris wouldn't do it.
Why you say that?
I just know he wouldn't. Will would be down to do it, but Chris wouldn't do it.
I mean, that's his choice. I'm not mad. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, so that's not happening. That was the rematch that people thought was coming, and it is not.
Jada might even do it. Jada would probably do the red table talk with Chris, but I'm telling you, Chris wouldn't do it. Well, he probably, and it wouldn't have to be a different color table too, by the way. But Chris wouldn't do it.
Now in other news, so remember we had talked about Bad Bunny and the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Yesterday it was announced that Bad Bunny's performance at the Super Bowl made Super Bowl halftime show history. Now currently Rock Nation is reporting that he brought in 4.157 billion views globally within 24 hours. The viewership figure includes global and U.S. broadcast, YouTube, and digital properties. Now this is an all-time record. So
he beat the record.
First of all, drop on the clues bomb for Bad Bunny. Goddamn, Envy cracked the coquito, right? Y'all don't rep for y'all people at all, and it disgusts me.
I'm not Puerto Rican.
Okay, wave the rattle or whatever. What is it? There you go. Do something.
But he beat out because at first they said he didn't beep, so he's top of the top.
No,
Pause.
yes, because what happened is the conversation we were having in the beginning was about viewership in the U.S. So this is globally, this is everything. This includes digital, and yes, he not only did he set a new record in this space. So people that were having that conversation, here's a little update for you. And I would say, Bad Bunny's probably celebrating, but he knew what he was going to do when he got there. So
of course,
yeah, it's one of them things. Like, take that.
Of course.
So congratulations again to Bad Bunny.
Congratulations,
Salute to Rock Nation too.
And all these weeks later, we are still having conversations about the impact of that Super Bowl. So the people that didn't care to see it or all that conversation that was happening, conversations don't be meaning nothing no more when you know your intentions.
That's right. Drop on the clues bombs for Bad Bunny, man. Y'all break out the goddamn roasted pork and the rice with the pigeon peas, man, and some coquito.
You could have just said some empanadas. You could have just said empanadas. You
can add that too.
Okay.
I don't know what y'all do, but salute.
It's not me. Stop.
Well, in other news, speaking of conversations,
you said wepa, right? Wepa. That's what you said. Okay.
You should have asked.
No, that's what y'all say. No, I know what you mean. Rep to your set.
Last time he repped, he played the wrong song.
I know.
It's all right.
But he played a Puerto Rican.
Yeah. Whoa.
I did play a Puerto Rican.
Oh, so what are you?
Dominican.
I'm black.
He's Dominican.
He played Don Omar.
Go ahead, continue on.
Speaking of conversations, so Matthew Knowles sat down for a conversation with a reporter from Pix 11, and it didn't even go well. It didn't go anywhere. Let's take a listen.
you've earned your flowers. And I've said the same thing to Tina Knowles. You guys put in the work, and obviously the talent was there with your kids and your grandkids.
What work did she put
in the hair, clothing,
you're absolutely right, and the styling.
The styling.
The imaging, you're right.
She claimed to have preyed on the name and different aspects of that.
Sure.
It's a joint effort.
We'll stop now.
Sorry, did I say something wrong?
No. We're good.
All right.
We're good.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
That was so awkward.
It was. So
he didn't disrespect the guy, but
no,
like, that was so awkward.
And I don't think that the journalist's name is Candace Gibson. He didn't ask the question in a disrespectful way either. Right. He was just trying to give both.
It was a little foggy. So what was the question?
So basically, what Candace said to Mr. Matthew Knowles was, "I want to give you your flowers, as I did to Miss Tina, Beyonce's mom, for everything that happened with Destiny's Child." And Matthew Knowles says, "Well, what does she contribute? What does she do?" And
he's a crazy question.
And he says, the styling and the hair, and then they talk about the name of Destiny's Child, and Matthew Knowles agrees, the styling, whatever. But then he gets up and he says, we're not going to go any further. And then the interview ends. He walks out, but he doesn't just walk out abruptly the way it's being reported. He does shake his hand. The journalist asks, "Did I do or say anything wrong?" And he's like, "No." But he just doesn't finish the interview after that.
It was just a weird question. It was a weird way that he asked the interviewer the question. He said, "Well, what work did she put in?" Like, as if to say she ain't do nothing.
And I think, and he hasn't. I mean, I did reach out to his team. I haven't seen anything that he's posted in response to this to kind of clarify what agitated him.
What probably happened is when Matthew Knowles does interviews, sometimes they have a list of things they don't want people to ask.
Yes.
And maybe that was on the list to talk about Tina Knowles. And maybe because they asked that, because they sent the list up here.
They did for Matthew Knowles?
Yeah, Matthew Knowles.
I don't remember. On that list, I feel like it was just Beyonce.
We turned it down, yeah. It was, Beyonce was on the list. Anything from Destiny's Child. Anything from, I believe, his past marriage with Tina Knowles. I think Tina Knowles was on that
Matthew's been
too.
up here a few times, though.
But this was on a recent occasion, yeah. He wanted to come up
probably
here.
because she put a book out.
Yeah, so
that could be it.
He didn't want to talk about it, so we declined, because...
That's what the
reason. But Matthew Knowles is doing all of this press right now because he's promoting a Destiny's Child tribute concert, right? So you're going, and he's been everywhere talking about Destiny's Child. So some of that stuff you can't get around. And I've seen them give each other a lot of love.
It sounded like he gave her the props when she talked about him being a stylist and everything. It was when he said it was a joint effort. That's when he got up and walked away. But I mean, she's a mom. She's a matriarch of the family. That in itself makes it a joint effort.
Yeah, both of them did it. Yeah. You can do percentages and say this one did 80 and this one did 20.
Yeah, regardless of what you're talking about, she did for the group. She's the mother.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You got to keep those kids in the proper headspace to even become the Beyonce and Kelly and Solange and that we know now.
But even if she styled them, she did their hair, she came up with the name, that's still adding towards the group. You know what I mean?
But she's the mom.
Yeah,
she's a matriarch of the family.
Yeah.
That actually, it makes it more than a joint effort. I mean, if you had to ask me about parenting, I must say the woman is 70-30,
I say more like
yeah.
Okay.
80-20, 75-25.
I feel the same way.
Yeah.
80-20 for sure. Now, he's giving the Destiny's Child tribute. Are they going to be there?
I'm not for sure how it's actually set up. I'm assuming so if it's a concert, but I just know that he's been going everywhere having a conversation about this tribute that he's putting together and talking about their history. So I don't know why he would be telling an outlet not to talk about anything related to them. But
what if Matthew do a Destiny Child concert and Latoya, Latavia, and Farrah walk up?
Oh my God!
Just them?
Yeah. That's still Destiny Child.
But you need everybody.
That's crazy.
That's still Destiny's Child.
They were Destiny's children.
It's a 60-minute musical experience featuring a string quintet performing reimagined hits. Quintet.
I know her. She did Abbott Elementary, right?
Oh my God.
Quintet. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but it's a reimagined hits in different cities.
So they're not going to be there.
Like New York, Houston. The tour honors his legacy as the manager who built the group and Beyonce's career. Features personal stories from him as well, too.
It's like them Drake parties influenced by Drake and everybody dresses up like Drake and just play Drake music.
If Matthew Knowles is there and he's giving you stories never before told and all that during it, it's still a great experience.
It'll be great, but I know the people that's buying tickets are definitely going to want to see them. And the people performing, giving them the tribute would definitely want to perform in front of them.
Lord, well, maybe there'll be more from this if we get a response on like what actually got him to get up and walk away. But that is the latest for now, and we'll be back in the next hour with some, or the next latest with some more.
All right, now when we come back, Mimi's here. We have some front page news, and then Khanna will be joining us. Also, Jalen Rose will be joining us this morning. So don't move. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning. Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. Mimi's here.
Mimi Brown.
Let's get into some front page news.
Good morning. Okay, so we're going to jump right in. We're going to start back on Capitol Hill this morning. So lawmakers, they were briefed yesterday by the Trump administration on the U.S. strikes inside Iran, and now we're hearing the reaction from lawmakers after that meeting. Let's listen.
It is so much worse than you thought. You are right to be worried. Trump administration has no plan in Iran. This illegal war is based on lies, and it was launched without any imminent threat to our nation.
I am more fearful than ever after this briefing that we may be putting boots on the ground. But I also am no more clear on what the priorities are going to be of the administration.
This is as serious as it gets. This is war and peace. They told us in that room that there are going to be more Americans that are going to die.
It's very clear this is a war of choice by President Trump. There was no imminent threat against the American people, against American facilities or persons. This is a war that is going to be borne on the backs of working class Americans who have suffered, financed, fought over 20 years of war. Enough is enough.
So you see a lot of confusion happening, after that meeting. And this comes as thousands are still stuck in the Middle East with right now no plan on how to get them home. Republicans, they are largely backing Trump's actions, saying the strike will make the world safer and prevent Iran from developing nuclear weapons. And staying on Capitol Hill, Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem, she was back on the Hill and once again in the hot seat. And she testified before the Senate Judiciary Committee, where lawmakers questioned her about ICE operations and the 2 deadly shootings in Minneapolis earlier this year. So those 2 U.S. citizens, Renee Good and Alex Preddy, they were shot and killed by federal agents in January. Now, after the incident, Noem suggested that the situation may have involved domestic terrorism. During the hearing, lawmakers asked her if she wanted to apologize for those comments, and she called their deaths tragic, but she offered her condolences to the family, but she stopped short of apologizing, saying that she was sharing just the information that agents gave her at the time.
Why can't people correct themselves? Like if you even if you said something in the moment and it turned out to be wrong, just correct yourself.
Just apologize.
Yeah.
Exactly. So lawmakers, including Senator Cory Booker, who raised concerns about immigration raids that have led to American citizens, had some words for Ms. Noem. Let's listen to what he had to say.
When you detain an American citizen, how long do they last?
We don't detain American citizens.
You are not speaking truthfully under oath. This is a reckless and out-of-control agency that you are responsible for. You seem to have no situational awareness whatsoever of some of the most egregious examples of Americans being completely attacked. You're going into our schools. You're terrorizing our children. You're breaking into our homes.
None of
and then
that
when a
is
court
true.
tells you
None of
stop,
that is true.
if you
Impede us
violate
from enforcing
judges'
the
orders,
law.
either you are utterly incompetent or you are violating laws with impunity. You should step down from your position. If you don't, you should be removed by this president. And if not, Congress should impeach you.
Cory Booker is absolutely right. But who wrote the script? Every time Cory Booker talks, even when he's right, I want to say, end scene.
Well, I was looking at him. He wasn't looking down. He was looking straight ahead. So he was ready. He had his talking points ready.
Stuff together.
Yeah, he definitely did. But we have to remember that all of this is happening inside that DHS shutdown, right? That partial shutdown. So TSA agents right now, they are not getting paid. As I was going through LAX, I spoke to a few of them, and they said that right now this story is not getting any attention. I think that they think that we're forgetting about them because they have not gotten paid since February 14th. And so they said crazy. That was like 16, 17 days ago. And they said that they are having trouble meeting their basic needs, gas, food.
It's sad because, like you said, we really haven't been talking about it because everything's been between the war, between the Epstein files, between all these things, we actually been forgetting. I forgot about the government shutdown.
I totally forgot. I literally thought that it had opened back up and they had started getting paid, but I know they had to play catch up from not getting paid.
Well, that was the first one.
Right. I didn't know that it even happened this second time.
So the second one is with DHS because they Democrats want ICE, they want them in check. check,
Yeah.
and so they refused to fund DHS. So that's where we are with that.
Just salute to all the TSA agents out there, man.
Salute to
We
the TSA
appreciate your
agents,
service
yes.
always.
Absolutely. And we're watching the results out of Texas this morning, where it appears Democrats have chosen their nominee for U.S. Senate. Now, multiple outlets are reporting State Representative James Tellerico as the winner of a Democratic primary, defeating Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett in a closely watched race. But the race is also drawing attention because of voting problems in Dallas County. Thousands of voters, they were reportedly directed to the wrong polling places, creating confusion and long lines at several sites. Now, a local judge there briefly, he allowed polls to stay open later so those voters could get to the polls. But the Texas Supreme Court, they stepped in, they reversed that decision. And Congresswoman Crockett, she addressed those issues last night while speaking to her supporters. Let's listen.
The Supreme Court also said that they are to separate any votes out that came in after 7 p.m. I have no idea how it is that clerks are going to know who was in line by what time, because the rule is that if you're in line by 7, then you get to vote. And so once there was a court order saying you had until 9, I'm sure that there were people that joined the line after 7. They now are telling them that you have to separate the votes out. What this means is that we will not know what votes are to be tallied from Election Day out of Dallas County.
Oh, that's a sign of things to come in the midterms. Okay, whatever happened in Texas yesterday, multiply that by 100 and know that there are going to be people trying to manipulate the midterms.
Absolutely. Absolutely. There was a lot of confusion. People were saying that they have been voting in the same spot for 8 years. They went to that polling spot to vote and they were told that's not their space anymore and they can't vote there. And so there were people in tears. It was literally just long lines and a bunch of confusion. Now the focus shifts back to the Republican side, where Senator John Corwin and Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton, they are now headed to a runoff election in May, and that will decide who will face Tellerico in November. And really,
and Tellerico won, right?
He won.
He won the Democratic primary.
Do we know how much he won by? No, we don't know.
It looked big last night when I was watching.
Well, last I looked this morning, it was like roughly almost between like 200,000 votes.
Oh, wow. Okay.
You know, so it could be, but if those Dallas County votes get counted, I mean, you know, who knows what's going to happen. Really quickly, and it feels like everyone is on tour right now, but if getting those concert tickets is feeling like it's costing you a small fortune, the federal government is now stepping in, saying one company may have too much power over how those tickets get sold.
Damn.
So a major court battle is now underway between the Justice Department and Live Nation. That's the parent company of Ticketmaster. The government is arguing that Live Nation controls too much of the live music industry, from selling tickets to promoting concerts to even owning the venues that the concerts are held at. Exactly. So their argument is simple. Like, so when one company controls the market, fans end up paying more in fees and they have fewer options. So they claim that this has allowed Ticketmaster to charge higher fees, limit competition, and make it harder for artists and venues to work with other companies. But Live Nation, they are pushing back. They said it's not a monopoly and that the live music business is still very competitive. Their lawyers are arguing that the company just simply produces like good concerts that people want to attend.
Yeah, I mean, like all these great concerts that you see, just about like 80% of them are Live Nation.
Yeah. You know? So we'll see. This trial is expected to last about 6 weeks. So we'll see what happens with that.
All right. Thank you, Mimi.
That's your front page news. Follow me at Mimi Brown TV.
All right. Now, when we come back, Khanna will be joining us. Khanna is U.S. Representative from California's 17th Congressional District. All right. And we're going to talk to him next. So don't go anywhere. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
Peace to the planet. Charlamagne the God and Loren LoRosa from The Breakfast Club, bringing you our newest segment series, Shopify Stories. Today, we're talking about something real important, something that I always push for, and that's ownership, all right? Not just having ideas, but actually turning those ideas into income. And I'm here with LL Cool Bay, Loren LoRosa. Loren, how are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I am blessed, black, and highly favored.
I get nervous when you ask me how am I.
Because you have trauma.
No, because you are trauma.
I'm talking about ownership of assets.
Yeah.
All you want to talk about is ownership of trauma. But stay focused, Loren.
I am, and that's what we're going to get into, because even these type of conversations, what I love about creatives is how creative they can be in the conversations they have and how diverse it is. But a lot of times, the business build out isn't always there. They have ideas, they have audiences, but they don't always know how to turn that into actual money or long-term business.
That is a fact, okay, especially in media. People get so focused on their job title. You know, they want to be a host, they want to be a producer, they want to be a creator. they forget to ask, what do I actually own? Because your platform is leverage, right? And if you got attention, that's an audience. And when you have that audience, that is just an opportunity to monetize said audience.
No, for real. And I feel like there's a shift happening right now. Like, people are realizing that you don't have to pick between building your media career and building a business. You can literally do both and should be doing both at the same time. So your content should fuel your business, and your business can then support your creative freedom.
And you know what I tell y'all all the time? Anybody can have an idea. But if you don't execute that idea, it's nothing. Okay, ideas don't pay bills. Execution does. You have to think it, and then you have to go out there and actually build it. That is what the execution is, building what you come up with in your brain.
And what's dope now is, like, you don't need like this huge budget to get started. That's why platforms like Shopify, I personally love Shopify, are so important for creators and first-time founders. You can build out your website, products, all of that, and they walk you through it. They have like videos that literally show you what you need to do.
That's right, because a lot of people here start a business and immediately think it's complicated. You know what I'm saying? And you're never dumbing yourself down, Loren. You're just being who you are. Which is dumb. But even with Shopify makes you look smart.
See, and that's why in the beginning of this conversation, I said, I don't ever like it when you ask me how I'm feeling.
What?
Because you ain't never coming from a good place, but it's cool because Shopify did simplify things, but you do have to kind of know what you're doing a little bit. You need to know that you want to build this online store in one place where you can manage products, you want to track your inventory, process payments. Woo, that inventory is the one, but Shopify is so good at it. And even sell across social media in person, all in one system. And I don't know if you know this, Charlamagne, because do you do products?
No, but I'm wearing one of yours right now.
Yeah, so browngirlgrinding.com, right? I figured out, it's like easy. You can do it from your iPhone on the Shopify app. You can link your products from shopify.com on your website to YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and everywhere else that people can just easily click to buy.
Good. So you're not juggling 5 different apps just to sell one product.
Exactly. And you don't have to be a tech expert. You don't have to know how to code. You can literally launch a store, customize your brand, and start selling while you focus on your creative work and be free.
And I love the AI tools. Shopify Sidekick is like having a little business coach in your laptop. You can ask questions, get ideas, figure out pricing. It helps you move with clarity instead of confusion.
Well, that's huge, especially for like first-time founders, because a lot of people think that business is only for people with investors or business degrees. I actually hate when people think that because it's completely not true. But now you can test an idea, see if your audience rocks with it, and scale whenever you're ready. And take your time.
That's right, because I didn't go to college. I don't have a business degree, all right? But I like to use the technology that is presented to us now to continue to build and be an entrepreneur. And with AI tools helping with things like writing product descriptions, marketing ideas, customer insights, you can spend more time being creative and less time stuck on the technical stuff, too.
And that's the goal. Everybody's always like, I just want to create. Making entrepreneurship more accessible is the goal. So making it realistic for people who are just starting out or people balancing a media career, a job, a family, all of that stuff, that's what Shopify does.
That's why I like Shopify. They meet you where you are. If you're brand new, it doesn't make you feel like you need an MBA to get started.
If you've got an idea, there are tools that can help you actually build something real from it. And that's what the focus is of this conversation, Charlamagne.
Yes, and remember, your creativity is currency. Okay, don't just post it. Don't just share it. Monetize it.
Yes, turn those ideas into income streams. We are talking to me right now.
And build something that belongs to you. And remember, if what you build only benefits you, it's not big enough.
Period.
Our entrepreneur story was brought to you by Shopify. It's time for you to invest in your own business, not someone else's. Head on over to shopify.com/breakfast club and see what it feels like to be the one in control of your future.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. Today we have our sisters Angela Rye and Miss Mimi Brown joining us this morning.
Yes, indeed.
We got a special guest in the building. We have Roques Khanna, U.S. Representative from California's 17th Congressional District. Good morning.
Good morning. I'm excited to be back.
All right. How you feeling?
Feeling good. I'm recovering from a cold, but I'm better now.
Do you feel like there's a target on you, Ro?
Yes.
For everything that you're doing?
What my guy said, I've taken on too many fights.
Yeah.
I took on the Epstein class.
Absolutely.
I've taken on.
I don't think we would have the Epstein files if it wasn't for the legislation that y'all implemented.
Yeah, the survivors get the most credit, but then Massey and I, when we started that, it was way uphill, and people thought we were crazy. So we've taken on some very powerful people. Then I've taken on AIPAC. They don't like me. Then Massey and I are doing the Iran War Powers resolution this Thursday, so there's a lot of the Iranian American community that's upset at me because they want us to get into a war. And then Bernie Sanders and I are talking about taxing billionaires. So the billionaires are upset at me. So, some people say you pick too many fights at once. But my view is we got to pick more fights against the established class in this country. Mm-hmm. And, I joke around because I'm not the most charismatic person, but I say people want is actual conviction. Mm-hmm. People who are going to stand up for working class, middle class families against folks who rigged the system. Mm-hmm.
Well, my first question is, you talked about picking a lot of fights. I think that is important given the fact that we're hearing over and over again that the Democratic Party writ large, especially in Congress, is not picking enough fights. What was the intention behind working with Congressman Massey? Do you all see a growing portfolio of how you all will work together, or was this just two people trying to do the right thing because that's what the moment required?
We started out being against war. The famous line, you got money for war, but not for the poor. That's Tupac. That's Tupac's quote.
A modification, but yes.
I can't rap, but I know the line. I know the basic lines. Same thing, but Tupac said that Dwight Eisenhower said that every dollar spent on a warship, every dollar spent on a bomb, every dollar spent on a missile is a dollar not being spent on a school or a hospital. And this country keeps voting for people who say they're not going to get us into war, and they keep getting us into wars. Both sides. We got into Iraq, I was opposed to it. We got into Libya, I was opposed to it. We got into a war with Yemen, I was opposed to it, as was Thomas Massey. And we don't want to get into billions of our dollars and our service members dying in Iran. So Thomas Massey and I started out this year working on the Iran War Powers Resolution. We've been trying to stop this war for the past year. Then what happened is he saw that I had put out an amendment to say we need to release the Epstein files, because it's the same group of people who have offshored our jobs, who get us into these wars, who were covering up, in my view, for doing some awful things to young women on Epstein's Island or Epstein's Ranch. And he said, well, why don't we team up on this? And I said, Thomas, we keep being on the losing side of votes. He said, well, let's do this. And we did it. And people are like, oh, these conspiracy theorists, etc. I said, no, this is real corruption. These are rich and powerful people who think they're above the law. And we got Marjorie Taylor Greene, we got Nancy Mace, we got Lauren Boebert, we got the entire Democratic Party, and we finally forced Donald Trump to actually sign this bill. I don't think Trump still knows he signed my bill, a Democrat's bill. It is the only time a Democrat has actually won against Donald Trump legislatively this whole term. And it's because we built a unique coalition. And Nancy Mace and I, we got into it with Charlamagne at one of these sessions. Yep. And it takes something. So I went with humility. I said, Nancy, I know we had that issue, but let's come together. And she said she's a survivor of sexual assault. Mm-hmm. And it was personal for her. And I'll say it on today's show, she showed enormous courage in standing with those survivors and not being bullied by Trump. Massey is facing a primary challenge. Billionaires funding against him. I'm facing a primary challenge. Billionaires funding this guy against me today.
Are you concerned about the primary challenger? Because this is mostly centered around the billionaire tax.
Billionaire tax, and the Epstein class. I mean, it's all connected. Some of the same people who are against the billionaire tax are also have their names all over the Epstein files. I mean, who is part of the Epstein class? A lot of them are billionaires. Mm-hmm. So, am I concerned? I mean, in politics, you never know. I mean, I'm going to take it seriously. I'm going to fight hard. Massey's going to fight hard. I think we're going to prevail because I think we're on the right side of the issue in terms of taking on the Epstein class, in terms of saying the billionaires should have a little more tax. I just want to give out one statistic. 19 billionaires in this country own 12.5% of the wealth. 12.5% of the wealth. In the Gilded Age, with Rockefeller, with Morgan, with Vanderbilt, that class of 0.00001% owned 4% of the wealth. And guess what? They built libraries, and they built universities, and they built hospitals. We don't have that with the billionaires. So if you can raise their tax by a few percent on their wealth, and you can have Medicare, and you can reverse the Medicaid cuts, and you can have child care, and you can have teachers being paid $60,000, and you can give a $3,000 check every year to people making under $150,000, I think that's a reasonable thing so everyone has an economic stake.
I agree.
What shocked you the most about the Epstein files that you saw?
It's like, how is everyone involved in it? How does this guy know more people than like heads of state?
Word. I'd be like, who the Jeffrey Epstein? How does he know all these people? How is he connected to all these folks?
He's like, oh, let me arrange a meeting for the Prime Minister of India. Let me go talk to the Prime Minister of England with what they're doing in terms of trades. Let me do something with the Prime Minister of Israel. Let me talk, he's got people who know Putin. How is it that every single person wants to be at his parties? Every Silicon Valley big shot? Oh, well, I'm in the files. I'm not saying they did something wrong, but like they all want to be part of his club.
Do you believe he's a time traveler? I'm just asking, man, because the way he's connected to everybody is kind of spooky. It don't seem normal.
It does not seem normal. I mean, you could be a former president, and I don't know how you have that kind of network. Where everyone wants to come to your events. Everyone wants to come to your parties. The former Prince Andrew, his former girlfriend said, you're a loser if you're not part of the Epstein files because it means you weren't part of the in club.
Damn.
That's crazy.
Well, how does this war affect the momentum of the Epstein files? Because we were really getting somewhere, and then all of a sudden, the war broke out.
Well, Massey believes it's a total distraction. And I certainly think Trump wanted to change the headlines. Remember what the story was right before this bombing, that a young woman accused Donald Trump of rape when she was 13. Now, I want to be very clear. It was just an accusation. But here's what concerns me. There were 4 times this woman was interviewed by the FBI. Now, the FBI doesn't just interview someone 4 times randomly. They obviously thought, okay, let me interview her. Fine. Okay. They release 1 of those interviews. 3 of those interviews are not released. Like, what are you hiding? What are you hiding? I'm not saying whether they're true or not, but don't you think if there are 3 other interview files and someone has made accusations against the President of the United States and you're required to release all the files, you should release them? So that was the story right before Iran.
Absolutely.
And then we have this whole Iran war. And, I believe that Donald Trump wants to talk about anything other than Epstein. And in this country, we have not had accountability. I mean, Lutnick is still the Secretary of Commerce.
A question, people always want to know, why didn't Democrats put out the Epstein files when Biden was in office? Can you just explain to us plainly why that didn't happen?
Well, first of all, they should have. Like, I don't make this a Donald Trump, Joe Biden, Democrat, Republican thing. I think having gotten to know the survivors, they've been shafted and they've been abandoned for the past 30 years. And it should have been all of us who were speaking out earlier. And I think Thomas Massey would say the same thing. Here's the problem, though. It took a law of Congress because the Justice Department couldn't release those files without Congress. There's a law or a policy of justice that says if you do not charge someone, you can't release the files. So under the Justice Department with Merrick Garland, they had to come to Congress and say, hey, pass this law so we can release it. And it just was not something they did. Pam Bondi if she was being honest, she would have said, look, I want to release these files, but I can't. I need Congress to act. Instead, they fought tooth and nail to prevent us from releasing these files. But I don't, if you look at the press conferences we had with the survivors, Charlamagne, and in the beginning, we were pleading with Trump. This was not partisan. We had survivors, Haley Robeson, who voted for Trump, who said, Mr. President, you'll be the greatest president. Please release the files. We want justice. Why do you think Marjorie Taylor Greene was on this? She wasn't in it to try to get Trump. She said, Donald Trump, you're going to be the greatest. You're going to be the president who actually releases the files. She actually thought Trump would do it. It only became against Trump when he called it a hoax, when he refused to release these files, when he's refused to have any prosecution or investigation. So I think what made this powerful from a perspective of the Democratic Party is, I would argue, it is the first time Democrats, since Donald Trump came down the escalator, have tried to actually work with anyone who's a Trump voter and said, like, yeah, we hear you. Yeah, there are a bunch of corrupt elites who are in our government, and they're shafting you, and we're going to call them out. And you know what happened when we did that? We actually got a coalition that got MAGA to split with Donald Trump.
You talked about Merrick Garland, who, of course, is our past attorney general. When you think about some of his greatest failures, it sounds like Epstein files is certainly one of them for you. But what about his failure to timely prosecute Donald Trump? Which of those do you think is the more egregious error?
Well, not prosecuting Donald Trump. I mean, I respect Merrick Garland. He may have been a fine Supreme Court justice, but he was not the right person for that time for being Attorney General.
He couldn't get across the finish line as a justice either, though.
The Vice President Harris, who did great in a lot of things as Vice President. I mean, she would have had a very different attitude if she was Attorney General. I mean, there are other people we could have appointed who, not her, but I'm saying of that temperament, because you saw her questioning Kavanaugh. You saw her questioning those Supreme Court justices. That's how she became a star. She was civil, but she was tough, and she knew what was at stake. That's how she became vice president, in my view. And we needed someone of that temperament who was like, I am going to stand for justice. And by the way, when we get power again, I'm all for reconciliation. I'm all for bringing the country together, but we cannot move on without accountability. The people who've killed Alex Preddy need to be prosecuted. The people who dismantled Doge against the Constitution need to be prosecuted. The people who have gotten us into wars without authorization or killed people on boats in the Caribbean, they need to be held accountable. We need accountability. And this Epstein class needs to have prosecutions and investigations.
And where are we on the release of the entire Epstein files? Like, I know we've released 3 million, 3.5 million, and then we're trying to get the entire files released. Yes. Where are we on that?
We've released half, and the half is pretty bad. It's got the whole country talking about it. And yet the half that we haven't seen is even worse. And why is that worse? What is the stuff they haven't released, right? Without getting into all the wonkiness. It's basically the survivors' own statements to the FBI. All of these survivors, 1,200 of them, they get interviewed by the FBI agents. And that's where they name names. That's where they say, you know what, this person raped me, this person abused me. Do I believe that we should just take that testimony as the word of truth? No. But that should come out. That should spawn investigations.
Why hasn't it come out yet?
Yeah.
Because it affects the reputations of everyone from allegedly the President of the United States down. That's the stuff where the names are. And by the way,
you do know it's mutually assured destruction, though. It'll be all across the board. So it'll be Republicans, Democrats, the donor class, corporate people, everybody.
You're absolutely right, Charlamagne. You know, that's how I know you're right, because guess who's the person who did not want Bill Clinton to testify the most?
Trump.
Donald Trump.
Yeah.
Clinton doesn't need to testify because he knows that it's him. And guess what? Clinton says, oh, Trump didn't do anything wrong. You know, it's a club. It's a club. And those files have...
Did he say he didn't do anything wrong, or did he say he didn't know?
He didn't know.
Okay, I think that we want to make...
It's fair.
We don't want to spread it.
That's fair.
I thought Bill was very cowardly punting on the should Trump testify question.
To get more information for this investigation, was wondering if you also agree that President Trump should answer questions of this committee.
That's for you to decide.
I thought Hillary's answer was fantastic.
I thought Hillary Clinton shouldn't have not been there.
Yeah.
That's
At all.
That's right.
Donald Trump has been held civilly liable for sexual assault by a jury of his peers. He has also been convicted on 34 felony counts for attempting to hide his relationship with an escort. Given past and prior conduct, he would be on my witness list.
That was an absurdity. I didn't go to Hillary Clinton's deposition because I thought it was absurd and sexist. And by the way, I've said they treated Hillary Clinton worse than they treated Bill Clinton, the Republicans.
Well, Nancy Mace, right? Nancy Mace wanted her to answer how she felt watching Bill Clinton be massaged by women. And why was that Hillary Clinton's responsibility to testify? And what does that have to do
crazy.
with the prosecution?
It had nothing.
I was glad Hillary was there, though.
No, I'm glad too. But what I'm getting at is Nancy Mace, your colleague who you've spoken very highly of based on her own experience as a survivor, to put a wife of a former president, a former Secretary of State, the person who got more votes in the popular vote count than Donald Trump in that position, to humiliate her. This is a person who you've talked about working very well with. She should have to be accountable for that.
I agree with that. Look, Charlamagne knows we've had our disagreements with Nancy Mace. I just said on this one issue of showing courage for survivors to get the Epstein bills, she showed courage.
Yeah.
I disagreed with how she and other Republicans handled the interview with Secretary Clinton. I think Secretary Clinton showed a lot of grace. And she didn't need to be there. She never met Epstein. And so it was absurd. I think President Clinton was honest. throughout the interview. At least he sat there for 6 hours and he answered those questions. I'm just saying that, the reality is Trump didn't want him to do that. Mm-hmm. And all these people are very careful because there's a huge network of people who did some terrible things. And those FBI files have those names.
What about lobbyists? Because, one thing that you've been hearing a lot lately is, people are very upset at folks who take money from, AIPAC. So why is AIPAC taking money? Why has AIPAC money become so toxic for politicians?
Yeah. One other philosophical difference, and then I'll answer that question. I thought Charlie Kirk's murder was horrendous, and I condemned it unequivocally. But I do not believe Charlie Kirk should be celebrated as a model for young men in America. Mm-hmm. I do not believe that his views that Ketanji, the Supreme Court Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson and Michelle Obama have less brain power than white Americans is something to be celebrated. And so, there's also a difference in our party in how we talk about race in America. In terms of AIPAC, they don't like me. They're spending money against me. I don't believe that we should be taking money from AIPAC. I believe we should be very clear that what happened in Gaza was a genocide. That we should not be providing military weapons and sales to Israel to kill brown people in Palestine. That we need to enforce the Leahy laws. That's another area of difference between some of us in the Democratic Party and others.
I hear people say that they're not going to vote for somebody who takes money from AIPAC. And my response to that is, well, who are you going to vote for? Because damn near all of them take money from AIPAC.
It's changing. I think I'd be surprised if from 26 and even in 28, whether many Democratic candidates take money from AIPAC. My guess is that will be something that most members of Congress say, no, we're not going to take money from AIPAC, and most people who run for president are going to say we're not going to take money from AIPAC. But I don't think it's just about AIPAC. Are you willing to call it a genocide? Because if you're not willing to call it a genocide, and all these people saw what happened on their phones, well, then how can we trust you to really say the moral truth? Are you willing to say we're not going to give military weapons to Israel that are being used to kill civilians? Are you willing to say that we're going to recognize a Palestinian state? And, I believe in a multiracial vision of America. One of the funniest headlines that happened in this whole Epstein thing is, Charlamagne, you may remember my grandfather was part of Gandhi's independence movement and was in jail in the 1930s and the 1940s. And that, of course, inspires Dr. King. Mordecai Johnson had gone to India, comes back 1949, gives a speech, and King at the time is at the Crozer Seminary in Pennsylvania, and he learns about Satyagraha and Gandhi, and he has a Gandhi reader and Bible everywhere. But there was an article in the British press saying the long tales of colonialism. Khanna's grandfather jailed by the British monarchy. Grandson in Congress may bring down the British monarchy. When I'm not trying to bring it down, but Prince Andrew, former prince, was arrested. So I come at politics understanding historical oppression.
But are members afraid of what happened to Cori Bush by saying, that they're not going to take money from AIPAC, that they're standing against what's happening, to the Palestinians? Is that a fear, though?
Cori Bush was 2 years ahead of her time. My brother Jamal Bowman was ahead of his time. Jamal Bowman would have won today. They just did those things at a time where it was a huge political price to pay. But the politics of this has changed in a way that I can't even describe over the last 6 to 9 months. It's gone from being a position that was politically toxic to one that is actually politically safe. My stance against the Epstein class and my stance for a billionaire tax is of much bigger political risk now than my stance against AIPAC. And that politics has shifted over the last 6 months, partly because of people like all of you who've been calling out folks for taking that money and not having clarity.
Do you think it'll be a time in this country where politicians aren't beholden to AIPAC?
Yes, but do I think? But the broader issue is, we've got so much money in politics. How are politicians not going to be beholden to a moneyed interest?
Yeah.
And that's very hard. I mean, I have a bill with Summer Lee to get rid of super PACs. We've got to figure out how we get more public financing of campaigns. Anyone in the system is, to some extent, compromised. I mean, you're not being honest if you are in the political system and you don't think that raising funds it makes you spend more time with people who have money. So that's a much broader challenge. And even if, by the way, someone wins for the presidency on a progressive platform, you know what the money and interest do? They find the one senator. They find the one committee chair in the House to block it. That's why half of Biden's agenda was blocked by Manchin or Sinema. I mean, Biden was way more progressive than the House and the Senate were. So there's money in politics beyond AIPAC is an enormous issue, and it's the cardinal sin of our political system.
I always thought there should have been a cap. When people run, there should be a cap amount of money that people can use, because like you said, if I go this way with AIPAC, I'm going to get unlimited funds. Now you look at Cori Bush, there's no way that she can match the funds that go against her. No possible way.
People could do more small dollar donors, but also she has someone run against her who just blatantly lied and said he wasn't running against her.
Yes, he did.
Shout out to Wesley Bell. I digress.
She's running again, though.
Yes, she is.
She is.
Yeah,
she said the other day.
Yeah.
What about a Thomas Massey Ro Khanna ticket? I've been hearing that the last couple of weeks.
You promoting it?
Well, I mean, I did have a conversation last week on my podcast about it because somebody in the room brought it up. They was like, "Yo, what do you think about a Thomas Massey Ro Khanna ticket?"
Yeah, I'll tell you what I like about Thomas Massey.
Who would be the top and the bottom, though?
I mean, who knows?
Leonard, Jesus.
What? I just asked who'd be
You just
the top
gotta
of the
ignore
ticket
him.
and
You
the
know you
bottom
have
of
to
the
ignore
ticket.
him.
But I just watched him look
I didn't even get the. My mind didn't even go there.
I didn't know
looked right at him.
mine
That's how I got it.
No, mine didn't either. Don't listen to her. But who would be the top or the bottom in that?
Look, Thomas Massey sends me a Christmas card every year, and it's got his family with semi-automatic weapons outside a Christmas tree. We've got a lot of disagreements, but the thing that people like is that we're willing to stop war. We're willing to hold accountable rich and powerful people who broke the law, and I think
that'd be a powerful message to the country.
We have people want some sense of coming together. So you never know in American politics.
Have you talked about it? Or?
Yeah, jokingly, he sends me a Khanna Massey or Massey Khanna bumper stickers that are out there. There's something you saw, like the Epstein class is going on. There was someone who had a banner of the Epstein class and these bumper stickers. But I don't think it's about Massey and me as much as it's about this sense in this country that things are broken. And here's I think what they like about Massey. I mean, we went across the aisle. We defied at times our own party. We're willing to risk our seats. Like, you may say, okay, we're likely to win, but 60-40, it's not 90-10, right? We're willing to take on fights. And if, like, we both say, like, okay, if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. We'll go back and we'll have great lives other ways. And I just think people want that. They want independence. They want folks who are going to take a risk. They want folks who kind of say what they believe, as opposed to all the scriptedness of politics.
Ro Khanna, we appreciate you for joining us this
You're
morning.
doing some
a lot
good
of
work,
information
bro.
this morning. Thank you so much.
I remember you told me like a year ago we were having a conversation, and I was not need for me to say what I was saying, but you said that you said that the work was going to prove itself, and I think that you're doing that right now.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you. I appreciated your conversation. Look, I just think that I don't know which way this country is going to go, but here's what I know: we've had a lot of showmen in our politics. We got a lot of people who thump their chest, who know how to message, who have conventional way to charm people, and it ain't working. People's lives aren't getting better.
That's right.
We're getting into these wars.
That's right.
And they're not standing up against real power. And all I know is we need actual substance. We need actual people who are going to take on real fights, not performative fights, and do real things and actually stand up for people. And that, to me, is why you get into politics.
That's what I told her. I told him he's not charismatic enough. He don't have a personality. But he said the work will
show itself.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you, Miss Angela Rye. Thank you, Mimi Brown. Ro Khanna. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning. Let's get right to the latest with Lauren.
Good conversation.
You're talking LL Cool, babe.
Yeah, I'm not dumbing myself down. I'm being myself.
Sources trusted.
I'm the homegirl that knows a little bit about everything and everything.
The little brown girls look at you and go, I want to be like you.
Take me through that, take me through that.
She gone. The latest with Loren
Take me through
LoRosa
that, take me through that.
on The Breakfast Club.
LL Cool, man.
Talk to me.
Okay,
The fact
guys.
that we almost matching this morning disgusts me.
I know. I thought that when I
Damn.
came in, like we're so comfy and gray.
Twinning.
Really cute.
Period.
Twinsies.
Don't call me twin. All right.
Wow, we both bald and wearing gray.
Yeah, but you're ugly. Okay, let's get back to something that we discussed in the last latest because I was just, I was doing a little bit more digging, and I realized that. So Matthew knows that clip that we just played. That is a new clip. Page 6 dropped that yesterday.
Right.
Matthew Knowles gets up, abruptly walks out of an interview because he's asked about Tina Knowles. Right. That's picking up everywhere. But I'm like, where is the rest of the interview? Like, I don't know. It just wasn't sitting right in my spirit. Right. Go back. I see that there's an interview from a month ago, January 30th. Not a month ago, but January 30th with Candace from Pix 11. So I'm like, okay, but that part is not in there. So I call Candace and I'm like, hey, why is it that Page 6 just dropped this little piece of it? Like, what was the point of that? So I talked to Candace.
Engagement, clicks.
Well, Page 6 is not who did the original interview, though. Pix 11 is a whole different outlet. So I called Candace, and he's like, they're confused as well. And at this point, they're upset because now that little bit that they don't even have on their YouTube channel is getting more clicks and more views than the original interview that they did. It was a full-ranging interview. They talked about everything from Matthew Knowles' role in Destiny's Child to all the work to everything that the girls are doing now.
And they know nobody care about that kind of stuff. People
Right.
like drama. They like salaciousness. So whoever put that clip out, put it out because they wanted engagement and clicks.
But I also asked him too. I'm like, why did Mr. Matthew Knowles get upset? And he says, I'm like, were you asked not to put that back into the interview, or not to ask that question? And he says no. And he's interviewed the fam, like he's interviewed all of the girls, and like this is not new. So he's become like a safe space for them. So he was confused. But Mr. Matthew Knowles wanted that part out, so they took it out, and then now it's leaked. So I just wanted to provide.
He wanted the part out where he left.
Yes, and that was at the end of the interview. So it's a full 40-minute interview that you can go watch. At the end of the interview, which is not there, you would have saw Candace giving him his flowers and then also giving Miss Tina his flowers. And he says in that interview, he only mentions Miss Tina kind of in passing maybe one time. That's the first direct question or direct statement he makes about her.
Maybe he had to go to the bathroom.
No, he said that Mr. Matthew Knowles said that he was leaving and that he had to go to another interview, but they were told that he went to breakfast somewhere nearby. But his publicist called and said that he didn't like that moment and he wanted to take it out of the interview.
Well, did you ask your sources if there was any IHOPs or Waffle Houses or anything nearby that he could have went to have breakfast at?
I don't know where he went to have breakfast, but I did want to clear that up though, because I feel like that was a missing piece. It made no sense to me as to why we're just seeing this when that interview's been there. But we can move on.
Okay.
So in other things, so T.I. is now talking about the fact that the Family Hustle joined into the back and forth with him and 50 Cent, and his sons Damani and King dropped diss tracks, and says that he didn't enjoy watching that happen. Let's take a listen.
I've spent so much time trying to get this little off the ledge, and now he has justifiable means to undo all of the teachings that I've been teaching. I do not like this. No, I do not enjoy it. I raise my children to be men of respect, logical, reasonable, and not to be emotional. And when I see King, how he moving, it's emotional, and I know, and me too, you know, you drag the matriarch of our household into some nonsense. So the one thing that I am proud of out of all of this is that the women and children in our family see that it's a line of men that's here against who the ever. And we not here to defeat. I'm here to defend. Man, I die in the street about this man.
Cite your sources. Where did that come from?
So that came from the Ebro and Rosenberg show.
That's enough.
Yes. I forget Laura's name too, but yeah. So that came from that show. But yeah, I think to be honest with
the
y'all,
YouTube show is
their YouTube show. Yeah. To be honest with you guys, hearing him say this, I think it puts it into perspective, because I know when we first reported on this, y'all were like,
I don't like it.
This is something that I don't like. I don't want to see
like
it.
it.
You know what I mean?
But you do understand it. You do understand, because they're musicians, right? They're musicians, and they're gonna go and they're gonna defend their mom. So you do understand
Absolutely.
it. But we hate to see it.
They're musicians, but they're also like that's their mom.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I understood what you guys were saying though about like the media leaning into it, and like just because I thought about everything that King and T.I., just them two personally have been through with just trying to make sure King is doing the right things, and now King's a father, and him just doing better in life in general, and
he
how
was
that can
chilling for a while. Like, he was chilling. We didn't hear from him for a while. Nothing
Just don't want to see
negative.
the BS.
And then his mother,
You don't.
defending his mom.
We already 50 and T.I. crazy. and been crazy our whole lives.
We don't need more crazy.
That's all I'm saying. Right?
That's all I need to be
I'm
said.
grown.
Yep.
I was born in 1978. I've been around long enough to know who going to do what. Okay? Some people about it in the booth. Some people about it in the street. Some people about it both. And two men of principle. You know,
they both.
It can happen.
Yes.
That's all I was saying. So that's one you don't throw gas on.
You don't
I don't
put
like
fuel.
it.
Yeah, you don't want to put fuel on that.
I don't like it.
Yeah. Well, look, the people is learning now. All right, so we'll end this latest, and in the next latest, we're gonna talk about a conversation that Keke Palmer and Demi Lovato had, and about dating underage and what was normal versus what wasn't back when they were like 15 years old. This conversation we're gonna get into.
All right, Charlamagne, who you giving your donkey to, man?
Man, 4 after the hour, we need a Florida man named Daniel Abramowitz. I think that's how you pronounce his name.
Definitely, that's not how you say it. But
Well, so what?
All right.
Okay, he needs to come to the front of the congregation. We'd like to have a word with him. Today's lesson is waste not, want not. We'll discuss.
All right, we'll get to that next. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning.
Donkey of the day. Made it. Damn, the hee-haw again.
It's time for Donkey of the Day.
I ain't trying to be donkey today no more.
They should be embarrassed by what they already did. I'm not making these people do these things.
Called Donkey of the Day, and it really caught me off guard. Damn, Charlamagne, who got the Donkey of the Day today?
Well, Jess Hilarious, Donkey of the Day for Wednesday, March 4th goes to a Florida man named Daniel Abramowitz. Now, what does your Uncle Charla always tell you about the great state of Florida? Say it with me. The craziest people in America come from the Bronx and all of Florida, and today is no exception, okay? Daniel is 29 years old, and he is a New Jersey native, but he lives in Florida, okay? And he's been drinking that Florida tap water. And when you drink that Florida tap water, even if you're not from there, you automatically become a Floridian, okay? Those are the rules, and that's exactly what happened to Daniel. See, Daniel was charged with battery and violating the terms of a 3-year probation sentence. He was on probation for a 2023 felony conviction for stealing and pawning a watch, okay? Daniel has a pretty healthy rap sheet, y'all, all right? His criminal history includes convictions for obstruction, probation violation, burglary, and it includes a prior domestic battery conviction for punching his baby mama in the face. Well, he has a new battery case because he does not subscribe to the proverb, waste not, want not, which means if you do not waste resources, okay, money, food, materials, you will never be in need or want for anything later, okay? See, I understand that phrase because I am frugal Van Draws, baby. I don't waste a thing. I save, and I am appreciative of everything because I know what I could waste, somebody would die for, literally, but Daniel didn't get this memo, all right? He's just a waster, a waste man. See, he pulled up to a McDonald's drive-thru at 1 a.m., I know what you're thinking. Nothing good can happen at a McDonald's drive-thru at 1 a.m., but that's not true. Okay, if you're at a McDonald's at 1 a.m., you are usually in a state of bliss. Okay, you're happy. All right, maybe high. You pulling up for some comfort food. You want a Big Mac, a filet of fish, maybe a McCrispy. All right, a quarter pounder with cheese. Back in the day, I would get high, and my go-to was the 2 cheeseburger meal, supersized with a 20-piece chicken McNugget.
That's the number 2, $2.99. But
20-piece. In our day, it was $2.99. Now it costs $11.99. Okay, jeez. And that 20-piece cost $7.99. My mama would have definitely said we got McDonald's at the house. I don't even know if people can afford to have McDonald's at the house nowadays, but that is why Daniel is getting Donkey of the Day today, because he ordered a McFrapple, okay? A McFrapple at McDonald's, depending on the size, is between $3 and $5, okay? Well, Daniel came through the drive-thru at 1 a.m. He had a brief discussion with the fast food worker, and then for whatever reason, decided to throw his McFrapple in the driver's face. Maybe he wanted more caramel syrup on it. Okay, maybe more whipped cream. I don't know. Maybe he ordered an Oreo Frapple and didn't get it. Okay, I don't know what made him so angry. All I know is if it's 1 a.m. and I go to McDonald's to order something, that means I really want it. Okay, if I spend my hard-earned money, $3 to $5 on something, how stupid of me to throw that drink in someone's face. Okay, you wasted time, Daniel. You wasted money, and now you wasted your freedom because you're going to prison, okay? Let me show you why waste not, want not is real. The proverb says, if you do not waste resources, money, food, you will never need or want for anything later. So what happens when you waste things? Wasting leads to a lack of necessary items, okay? Resources are money in the future. Now, Daniel, because you wasted, you will McNeed. And guess what Daniel currently McNeeds? He needs McBail money. He needs a McLawyer, all because he violated probation because he couldn't control his Mick emotions. please give Daniel Abramowitz the sweet sounds of the Hamiltons.
Oh, now you are the donkey of the day. Ooh, you are the donkey of the day. Yee-haw.
Who turned the heat up in here? I'm having big hot flashes.
It's definitely a little warm. But
y'all ain't hot?
No.
It's probably menopause.
It is just warm, but but no, what is a McFrapple?
The caramel drink, the coffee, the beverage.
That's a frappe, Charlamagne.
Oh, what I was saying.
A McFrapple.
Oh, all right. Well,
oh gosh.
Clearly, I don't drink it.
That's right. Like, no.
Leave him alone. You see, he's going through menopause.
You ain't
over
even
there.
realize y'all haven't eaten McDonald's in a long time, and I can tell because none of y'all, you didn't even budge like when he said McFrapple.
I have not.
Yeah.
My kids get a Happy Meal here.
Ain't it
and there.
spelled Frapple though?
No, it's McFrappe, FRAPPE with the little tilde over top of the E.
Oh,
So
I thought that was an
frappe.
L.
Oh,
No, you didn't.
Okay. Well,
No, you
salute
didn't.
to McDonald's.
Yeah.
All right. All right.
That wasn't a sponsorship, by the way. Just want y'all to know that.
No.
Hey.
No.
All right.
All right. When we come back, Jalen Rose will be joining us, ex-NBA player. He launched a new company. We're going to talk to him all about it, so don't move. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
The Breakfast Club.
Go to visitusvi.com. Add U.S. Virgin Islands to your travel plans. USVI, naturally in rhythm.
Donkey Today is brought to you by the Law Office of Michael S. Lamonsoff.
Liquid Death Sparkling Energy. The better for you, easy drinking energy drink. Available at 7-Eleven. 0 sugar, just 5 calories, plus essential vitamins. Murder your thirst, not your head. Liquid Death.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the Guy. We are The Breakfast Club. Loren LoRosa's here as well. We got a special guest in the building.
The good brother.
Jalen Rose, ladies
What?
and gentlemen.
Good morning. Doe family members.
Doe, how you feeling, man?
I'm blessed. I'm great to be here, and I just want to congratulate you guys for having the #1 spot.
Hey.
Thank you, sir.
You know what I'm saying?
Thank you, sir.
You know, I'm a Detroit native. I spent a lot of time in LA. I spent a lot of time in Atlanta and obviously in New York, but y'all everywhere.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So congratulations.
Thank you, my brother.
Yes, indeed.
Congratulations to you, too. You got to add a producer and actor to your resume now.
Yes, indeed.
But what made you want to start the entertainment production company?
I mean, it's just an opportunity to either be at the table or, create one. And, being in this game for so very long, a lot of people, sometimes when you're an athlete, they underestimate the fact that you're a creator as well. So, I'm an educated human being. Like I went to college and communications was my major and radio, TV, film. So what you guys are doing and what I'm doing is like my life. So I pay attention to what's on the walls and the microphones and the cameras and everything. And so it was just really an opportunity for me to grow from being a television personality to curating content, but also being a CEO of Same Page Entertainment and acting. And now we got a series out right now called Southwest High. Make sure y'all run it up on Tubi. We got the #1 spot.
Now talk about that. What is Southwest High about?
So Southwest High is a modern day version of Lean On Me. It's NBA legend Nolan Thomas returns to his hometown and wants to save the high school that he attended before it closes. And usually when people tell the story of our people, they tell the story of smaller kids because we're still considered cute and cuddly and innocent and all of that stuff, but they don't tell the story of high school kids. And so I wanted to do that. I wanted to highlight the amazing things that they're doing and the discipline that they show and the educators and the sacrifices that they make, but also the challenges that they need to overcome because we all know, the issues that a third grader has is different from the issues that an 11th grader has. The sex, drugs, violence, gangs, the exposure to losing their innocence so very early. So I wanted to just be in a position to tell those stories, and with Same Page Entertainment, I have that opportunity, so I'm very grateful.
But you did that in real life. I mean, just opening up the Jalen Rose Leadership Academy.
I did,
Yeah.
and the funny thing, I watched Lean On Me like 150 times.
You smoke crack, don't you?
Exactly. And I was taking acting classes and watching that show, and and it gave me confidence because I was like, Morgan Freeman a better actor than me, but he don't have a real school.
He ain't did it for real.
You know what I'm saying? Right? So it was like me just like really getting into the character And I have some amazing people around me, Tawanda Braxton, Dawn Hap Kenny, Brooklyn Queen. Like, there's so many dope people that make me look good, Stevie Braggs. And so I'm really excited about the project.
You're a lead actor. How did you end up being? So that's what you wanted to do?
Well, when I woke up one morning, I didn't say, hey, I want to be the founder of a school or I want to be an actor type of thing. It just kind of happened naturally because usually, and I was been in the lab so much, I realized that many of my favorite movies feature comedians or artists. But a lot of times athletes in today's society don't do scripted. So when I grew up, they were like blaxploitations. It was like Jim Brown and so many other people. And then it became The Rock. And earlier was Fred the Hammer Williamson. Like, they were doing scripted. And so in my mind, I wanted to like be disciplined enough to like get in to the classes and learn the lines and learn posture and all of the things that come with trying to like get into a character. So that's what really became Nolan Thomas, who I play in Southwest High.
I feel like the series like touches but not directly on like the survivor's remorse conversation, right? How much of your own, what you experienced in survivor's remorse and going back and doing other things you do did you put into this?
A lot of it, because inner city young people lose their innocence so young. Like, just imagine being like that kid that grows up in the inner city and you're in the living room, and I was this kid, your parents watching Scarface, they smoking weed, they're cussing, they're doing a lot of things that a 5, 6, 7-year-old mind sometimes is not able to process. Exactly. So there was the grown-up space table and there's the little kid space table, and for me, it's just like to tell the story of a lot of different perspectives, but also to shatter a lot of stereotypes. And I talked about like the early movies, but what about the 90s? You can have budgets for people that were telling stories, and it would be like message. So you can have Don't Be a Menace, and you can have Menace to Society. You can have like so many different stories that depict all sides of us. And so if I asked each of you, which I ain't gonna make y'all do right now, but I just want you to think about it. If you were going on a date and you were gonna watch a movie this Friday, what would you go see?
Just for is this some horror stuff out there?
Yeah. Correct.
Nothing for us.
Correct.
Yeah.
That's the point. So my purpose is to try to bring back what Ice Cube and Spike Lee and the Wayans brothers and so many other people before me who had budgets that could tell stories for people that look like us, but tell all sides of us. And that's what Southwest High does. Yes, there's a young lady that's pregnant in high school, but she's also a 4.0 student. Her father was murdered, but before he got killed, he was at all of the school events. He was at all of her games. There are issues with families, but you notice there's two parents in the parent-teacher conference, not just one. So it's just like little things that get a chance to tell all sides of our story.
Did you take any inspiration from your own real life high school experience?
I did, and I do. And the incredible thing that I want people to know about inner city young people is like the challenges that they have to deal with are undefeated. Like when I went to school, if we had social media, I wouldn't be here right now. Like, just real. Like when I go to our school, like I have a public high school in Detroit. And our young people and our families trust me enough to wear uniforms. So they wear blazers. They submit their cell phones in the morning. And people say, so what happens if there's an emergency? The same thing that happened when you were going to school. You coming up to the school in an emergency ain't going to help the emergency. It's just going to highlight the emergency. And so for young people, and even in this room, like, Envy, when the last time you've been without your phone for 8 hours?
Probably on a plane.
Right. Exactly. And so for young people to trust what we're doing because they want to be educated and they want to have their goals come true, it really means a lot, especially in a city like Detroit. And so that plays out in real life at the Jalen Rose Leadership Academy because we're 16 years in, but it also plays out in Southwest High because I get a chance to tell a version of those stories.
I feel like you've been producing too. I know you got the same Page Entertainment. When I think about Jalen and Jacoby, like you were one of the first former NBA players to have a podcast. And now there's a whole NBA podcast culture. How do you feel about that?
I was the first, and it started at the same time at Breakfast Club. Did you start
15 years, 2010 we started.
2010 is when I started Jalen and Jacoby.
Wow.
And the unique thing is you see about the podcast landscape that it's changed. Like, people are doing 1 or 2 podcasts a week. Like, I was doing 5 podcasts a week for 15 years.
Y'all were daily, yeah.
So, and it became a podcast, a radio show, then a television show. And so being in that space taught me a lot about multimedia. Executive producing the Fab Five documentary. I had a play called The Greatest Love Story Ever Told. It was kind of in a Tyler Perry Chitlin circuit mode that we did multiple cities. And then we lost John Avery, who was the father of the Fresh Prince. So that kind of ended that project. The 81 Olives with Kobe Bryant, executive producing that. So I've been in this space for a very long time. And this is just a graduation of that mission.
Should active players have podcasts?
I would say yes, but the difference in being an active player and having a podcast, because I was the first former player that worked in the media while playing in the league. But to be real with you, I did it when I was on a team that was irrelevant.
Yeah, okay. Gotcha.
So when I was playing for the Pacers and we was making it to the finals, I wasn't doing a podcast because I wasn't going to talk about why Larry Bird took me out of the game against the Bulls in 1998 and we lost that series. Right. But when I got traded to Chicago and they had the worst team in the league, and then I was playing in Toronto, I was like, you know what? We ain't making the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to start my second career. It's very tough for a current athlete to be honest and have a podcast while they're performing because you can't talk about your team, your coach, your teammates, but you can't talk about your opponents and be like legitimately saying what you feel. So it's not real.
It could disrupt the locker room, right?
It definitely disrupts the locker room because I remember Mike D'Antoni when I was playing for the Suns and I was doing it and he didn't want me to do it. I'm like, I ain't playing. You know what I'm saying? It was the year when Robert Horry hit Steve Nash into the scorer's table, and I'll never forget because I was like one of the guys. I was like the 9th man, and I was like, "Yeah, I'm about to get some minutes." I went back to Phoenix, and John McCain was staying in my hotel. My apartment. That's another story for another day. The late great
John McCain stayed at your apartment. Oh, let's finish it.
Yes, and so I'm like, get back. We flew back. I was in the weight room. I was on the treadmill. Like, I'm going to play. He's like, no, you know what I'm saying? You're going to talk about it on your show, so we ain't going to. Wow. And he signed me.
Wow.
Yeah, that really happened. And the John McCain thing, and as I bring it up, because it just sparked the thought, that was one of the reasons why I started my school, actually. Because I remember him saying and again, I'm paying respect to the dead. I ain't got no shots or shade at him, but this is a real-time thing. He was like stomping to run for president. And they were like, why don't you feel like you need to go stomp in Detroit? He was like, well, when the world gets sick, Detroit gets the flu. He said a version of that. And that always stuck with me. And so to me, I was like, I'm going to try to do something to change the dynamics of how people see Detroit. And that kind of sparked what led to me now starting the Jalen Rose Leadership
How'd
Academy.
y'all develop a relationship, you and John McCain?
No, we ain't have a relationship.
We just stayed in your apartment.
No, I was just rich and he was rich and we stayed in the suburbs.
Oh, gotcha.
That was just that. I just literally just saw him at Valet one time. I'm like, oh, okay.
I got one more question about podcasting. Should Rich Paul have a podcast?
For him right now, no. And that's my guy, and I know he's going to text me right after this. Because everything he says is going to be attributed to something that people think he talked about with LeBron. And LeBron's still a current player. He still represents so many players and elite players in the game. So when he's talking about it's like you talking about Black Effect, right? It's like you can't separate the two. And for him, he's put in a tough position to talk about the moves that are being made in the league when he's one of the biggest movers and shakers. And it's going to interrupt a lot of things. So when you see Anthony Davis get moved and then he's talking about it, like, that's your client.
Yeah.
And so that makes it personal in particular, and you all know this, especially when we making millions. Like, it's so much money involved. So you're like giving away some of the trade secrets, and you're like diminishing a little bit of the respect sometimes that you may get for the people in power when you're making moves, when you're speaking about them publicly. Most of the moves that are highlighted are made in silence.
What do you say to people who feel like the NIL has been hurting college sports?
Those are people that have had jealousy towards athletes for a very long time. Those were the same people when I was talking about this 20 years ago. They were like, you should just be happy you got a scholarship. I would be happy if I got a chance to go to college and somebody was paying for it. But yeah, ain't nobody paying for you to play. Ain't nobody paying to watch you play. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody buying your jersey. And so that was always a jealousy that certain members of the public and or the media had toward athletes that was just unfair. Like if you're able and the thing about being a member of the Fab Five is shout out Chris, Jawan. Chris just had a birthday yesterday. Shout out my brother Chris, Jawan, Ray, and Jimmy. Now athletes are doing what they call pay for play, which means I'm going to go to said school because they're paying me X. We were actually selling goods and products. So we were selling shorts, we were selling socks, we were selling shoes. So that would have been a different burn for us because we would not only have gotten paid to play, but we were actually selling products, which the John Doe player that plays for St. John's, the second best player, y'all don't know who he is. Ejiofor is the best player, is probably getting $1, $2, $3 million a year just to play for the team.
Damn. Can't y'all get retro though? If they put all the retro jerseys on sale, I would buy a Jalen Rose, Chris Webber jersey.
Absolutely.
In a heartbeat.
Well, there's a word that you'll appreciate instead of retro that I've been using. Reparations. We need reparations, Charla. That's what we need. You know what I'm saying? So any attorneys that's out here listening right now that want to take on the case, it's like, don't get paid until we get paid, hit me up.
Hold on, so you would do that, y'all? You think there's a case there?
I do think there's a case there because I've seen a couple of people. I've seen the Ed O'Bannon case. I've seen a couple of cases of people that were. I remember watching like video games that had me on there, and I was playing them. And then we thought that was cool. When I'm like, should have been getting paid. You know, so yes, there is a case there.
Now going back to the film real quick, I know you gotta go. Going back to the film Southwest, the series Southwest High, because you are so new in acting. What was one of the most challenging things about filming? Because you're lead actor. Like I don't think a lot of people really know what all that entails. That's memorizing scripts and, like you said, working with acting coaches and things like that. What were the biggest challenges you think?
The number one thing I told them, and as you know, we were casting everyone. I was like, I need to be the least experienced person on here. I'm smart enough to know that. I want everybody else to be experienced in their own right so that they can uplift me and I can learn from them. And also it can still be really good. The number one challenge, and you guys know, is memorizing your lines.
Yeah.
And also being able to like deliver them with the inflections that they deserve at that time. So something you might say at the beginning, maybe something different that you might say in the middle, there's something that you say at the end. And so like there's a level of professionalism to come with that. And there's a room full of people and you can't keep messing up. You know, so if you show up and you don't know your lines, it's like you disrespecting everybody.
Yeah, because now that's time. Now we only allot for a certain amount of time, and then that's more money too.
Yes, and then you feel foolish when you're the person when 5 people go and say their lines, and then you the person that don't know it.
Yeah,
those are the toughest things. But I learned a lot from the people on set. And Southwest High is a hit, so make sure y'all run it up on Tubi right now.
Did you do anything to be method, like not get a shape up, or did you had to have the sharp hairline?
Gotta have a cut. That's undefeated.
Well, Southwest High, you can check it on Tubi now. Make sure you check it out, and we appreciate you for joining us.
I appreciate the love. Y'all killing the game. Thank y'all for being the number one show in the game.
Appreciate it. Jalen Rose, it's the Breakfast Club. Good morning.
Loren be coming with straight facts.
Made it. She gets them from somebody that knows somebody.
Well, she gets the details.
I'm a homegirl that knows a little bit about everything.
She be having the latest on you.
The largest. The latest with Loren LoRosa.
Sometimes she have facts, sometimes she have details, sometimes she have a little bit of everything.
Well, it's the latest.
Brought to you by Top Dog Law on The Breakfast Club.
Talk to me.
My favorite intro, but it's not true, but continue.
All right, y'all. So, Scary Movie 6, by the Wayans family, was supposed to come out on June 5th. No, was supposed. Dang, I messed up. I was trying to do like a little intro thing.
That's why I say that intro is a lot.
Okay, so Scary Movie 6.
Get focused.
Because the dates confuse me. Scary Movie 6 that was supposed to come out on June 12th is not happening anymore.
Why?
Thank you. I knew that would happen. Because it's coming out on June 5th. Because of all of the demand around it and how everybody has been responding, they're moving it up a week. Let's take a listen to Marlon talking about it.
Yo, what's up, son? Yo, check it out. We are currently in the edit for a Scary Movie. I have some good news and I got some bad news. The bad news is we're no longer going to be releasing on June 12th. The good news is, due to the overwhelming response and the worldwide excitement, we are releasing a week earlier. That's right, June 5th is the new date for Scary Movie. We're starting off the summer with a bang and a laugh fest. So I'm really excited about coming early. Okay, that didn't come out right.
Whoa. Pause.
But hey, some of y'all might think it's a premature release. We doing it. See y'all there.
I hope Scary Movie 6 makes $150 million, $200 million at the box
Absolutely.
office. Go get all of the coins.
Yes, they're calling this rebootquel. You know how you have prequel, sequel, and the whole point of the movie is they want to cancel culture and bring back comedy the way that it used to be. Now, in this movie, they take a couple jabs just in a trailer. Let's take a listen to the trailer.
My God, he stabbed her! Not her! My pronouns are they, them. He stabbed them!
We back!
Should we hug? I really want to, but I'm a Republican now, so I'm supposed to be racist.
Oh, girl, I think all white people are racist anyway. Come here.
Okay. Oh.
Hey there, we heard tell of a Halloween party. We're here to drink, play bad music, do some half gay.
Why just half gay?
Why
so
there's no
happy.
such thing as half gay?
Right. I was so happy when I saw Shawn Wayans. I feel like we never see him. I was happy just to see him in that little piece of the trailer.
I saw Kim Wayans in it too, and I'm interested in. I'm always intrigued by Regina Hall because I think that she's getting funnier as she get older.
Yep, you get to see the Anna Faris and Regina Hall reunion in that as well too.
Isn't it crazy how we got a new Scream movie and we getting a new Scary movie?
Yeah.
I heard the new Scream sucks though.
Really?
The
The
reviews
reviews
say the
weren't the
trailer
best,
was
but
good.
yeah. So yeah.
I just heard from some of the
didn't see
homies.
it.
They was like, it's terrible.
Trash. I
Damn.
didn't see it.
I haven't seen it yet either, but we'll be. I'm definitely going to make sure I go and see the Scary Movie. So yeah. Now in other news, so this actually just broke this morning. So Quavo, there are reports right now that he is dealing with the IRS. This is every time I read stories like this, I get so nervous because I'm like, what happened? And I want to know so I can make sure this don't happen to me. So according to docs that were filed in January, the IRS is reaching out to Quavo and they're talking about a federal tax lien for money that they say he's owed in 3 separate years. So they're claiming he owed over $900,000 for 2021, over $800,000 for 2022, and over $1 million for 2023, bringing his total to over $2 million in money owed to the IRS. Now this comes just months after. I mean, there's been conversation about a ton of different celebrities, but I know I recently saw like something with Swizz Beatz, and then Offset had paid off his tax liens as well. But yeah, this just broke in 7 figures, a lot of money. I don't know what happened here all the way, but it's just every time I see this, I get scared.
As you should. Okay.
I even asked you one day, I'm like, what can I do to make sure this don't happen? You were
Pay
telling me how to
your taxes.
Yeah, but
Pay
sometimes you're making money so many different ways in the entertainment
But
business.
there's
it's a lot to keep up with.
There's so many different ways. You can put yourself on a payment plan where you pay them monthly or pay them every 3 months. You could do something where you make sure your accountant is good on you. See, a lot of this happens when you get paid cash and you don't think anything about it.
Yeah.
But the company that actually pays you writes it down, and when they hit the IRS, the IRS wants their money.
And here's the other thing too, man. I tell folks all the time, and it's simple. I got a great financial team. Salute to Lifeline Financial, Humble, and Laura and Crystal, everybody. But when you get money, just automatic $500, take half of that and just put it away in a tax savings account.
Yes.
Literally. Just take 40% of it and just put it away in a tax savings account. I don't care what the amount of money is. I promise you, whatever amount you get, that is not all yours. Just take that 40% and put it in a tax savings
But
account.
the bad thing is a lot of these artists, they get money from so many different ways and so many different angles. So a lot of times when they get this money, whether it's a W-2 or W-9 at the end of the year, they forget or they don't or they didn't receive it. But everything goes to the IRS.
And that's why when I see these stories specifically, I'm always trying to learn. And I hate that people don't always have that learning conversation around it, but that's what the Breakfast Club is for.
You got to hire somebody whose job is literally to do that. That's why having a good financial team, a good business manager is very, very important.
Well, and every once in a while, things slip through the cracks, though. This might be something that you forget or you didn't pay or something that you didn't see, and they come back.
Can't let
but for the
slip
amount
through the crack, Envy.
Oh my God, y'all. We are moving on.
You can't.
Because now here y'all go, being a little gay. Say half gay.
I'm talking about taxes.
Oh, no, you being full gay.
You're right.
Dang,
You shouldn't let anything slip through the cracks.
Nothing should slip
Nothing
through
should slip through the cracks.
Because I've been excited to get to this one story
All right,
all
sorry.
day.
Come on.
All right, so
We got excited
speaking of
too, 'cause of that last
conversations
story, yeah.
that we can learn from, so Keke Palmer and Demi Lovato sat on This Is Keke Palmer, and they had a conversation about women dating older. And when I saw this, I'm like, yo, now I finally get why we were making mistakes back then. Let's take a listen.
I found myself dating. I'm 15. Why is my boyfriend 20?
Why was my boyfriend 30?
Girl!
You know what I'm saying?
I'm not smiling at that, but that is real. We was trying to find outlets, though. I don't think,
and
just
also
a way to process this, and nobody our age,
could understand. Nobody our age could understand. But then you look back in hindsight, when I turned 30, I was like, that's not okay.
It's almost a mental break that can happen because you realize, you were taking advantage of. Oh, I was being exploited.
Yeah.
Oh, was very difficult for me when because at 15, I'm thinking like my boyfriend's older because I'm doing an older job and I'm doing a bunch of things and this is the way that it is, and it seemed normal in my mind.
Especially if you're mature for your age.
So their lifestyles was a bit different at 15 and 14, obviously, because they're on all these big shows or whatever. But the conversation they had when I watched the interview yesterday was just about the responsibility when you're doing like grown-up responsibility. So like if you're the oldest one in your family or the breadwinner in your family, you feel like you have to be with someone who can also do what you feel like you're being told to do in your family. And I'm like,
crime.
It is, but I want to. And listen, I'm not saying it's not a crime, but I learned in real time, like from reporting on all the R. Kelly stuff, a lot about what wasn't right and what was right, even when I was younger, because I was dating older people.
Same.
But I always thought I was dating older people, and I was told that it was okay because of what I was doing for myself at the time.
We've definitely seen that a lot. We've seen go in high school. We've seen older guys coming to high schools to pick up the high school girls. We've seen that all the time.
But it still was a crime.
It was
crime,
wrong.
depending on what age they are.
It was wrong for sure. But watching them have that conversation now, that because she was right. Now that I'm older, I look back and I'm like, if my niece at 15, I would have a fit. Like,
and I have. No, I'm saying I have a daughter now, and so that would crush me to find out that she's dating, because she wouldn't bring them home, dating somebody older, because I never brought home the older guys that I dated, you know what I mean? But that was just something
they shouldn't have wanted to come to your house because they knew they was committing a crime.
Yeah,
and that's the crazy thing, right? Morally, ethically, you can be cool with it or think you're mature enough to do it, but it's still a crime.
It is.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, but that's a great conversation.
It's a deeper conversation because I'm sure you guys dated older men, right?
I just said, I did. I honestly.
But what age? How old?
I was like a freshman in high school dating people that was like about to be graduating from college.
Same.
Like
that's crazy.
Yeah, but I was always taught, and maybe I misconstrued it, but I was always taught a man has to do certain things for you as a woman,
14,
and
15?
men my age weren't doing that stuff.
You were 14, 15.
They were trying to figure life out.
21-year-old.
Y'all were supposed to grow up and get to be 20-something, 30-something.
I didn't realize until I got my.
You
until
were 14
I did
21
not
year old?
realize until I had my boyfriend and we were going to college together, and I had to sit my mom down and have a conversation with her about the fact that he couldn't provide certain things because he was a college student, and everything switched. I feel like I took back over control, but yes, I was taught to provide. Men needed to provide from a very young age.
What does a 21, 22-year-old want with a freshman in high school?
Can I ask you a question? Do you think your parents your mom was telling you something that your older self needed to hear? Like when she was talking to you at 14 saying, be with a man that's going to provide, but I think she was talking to you when you get older.
It was also teaching her early.
Yeah, and I think it was also her trying to protect me, even though that wasn't the best way. I didn't interpret it the right way, because I think she just wanted to make sure that I wasn't in a position where I was being taken advantage of, where it was like it was an equal partnership, but it just wasn't community. She did the best she could. Yeah, she didn't have that. She did the best she could. She
I
was
say something,
surviving.
but I wanted to be found. So let's.
But
just
also the reality is
you
can't be more mad. You can't be more mad at Loren than you are the guy.
No,
that
both
was
of them.
dating her.
No, actually, it's definitely the guy. But if your dad was there, if your dad was in your life,
it would have been a different story. That's what I'm saying. My mom by herself with my grandmother did the best that they could.
It wouldn't have happened.
Period.
That's crazy because my dad was there.
Oh,
damn. He was always there, you know. So.
Okay,
I'm so
I take that
being
back.
blamed for your foolishness.
All right. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning. Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. It is Women's History Month. Who we saluting today, Jess?
So today's theme is scandalous but justified. I'm honoring Beatrix Kiddo, played by Uma Thurman from the legendary movie Kill Bill. All right. Now, she was whooping ass and taking names and all that, but a lot of y'all just think it was just an action movie and we just like to see the fighting, which we did. But she was pregnant with Bill's baby, but getting married to another man. And the man that she was getting married to, he was just a regular white guy. Now, her ex, Bill, showed up to the wedding rehearsal and killed the whole damn wedding party, and even Beatrix while she was pregnant. She was in a 4-year coma, and she woke up seeking revenge for the betrayal and the loss of her baby. So she killed this whole squad, right? Leaving Bill to be the last person that she killed. She gets there to his house. It took her 2 movies to do this. She gets there to his house and she sees her 4-year-old daughter, who she thought was dead. That's why she killed all them people. And then we get to see Bill for the first time, and he's old. He's old, and I'm like, damn. So I'm gonna tell you this the crazy story that Kill Bill didn't get to. She was dealing with her sugar daddy. He was her sugar daddy, and he got her pregnant. And that's the rule. You never get pregnant by an old ass man. She was just dealing with Bill for the money. But it went a little far. That's why when she realized she was pregnant, she went to go get with somebody her age and was trying to marry him. And she told him that was his baby. Whole time you lying. So you about to get married in sin because you got this man thinking that it's his baby. Whole time it's Bill baby. And that's why he got mad and killed her. Right? Or so he thought. And when she seen the baby, she was like, oh my God, he didn't kill my baby. He shot her up and went inside her stomach, got the baby, took the baby to the hospital, and raised her for 4 years. Ugh. So, scandalous but justified. Beatrix Kiddo.
All right.
We was just talking about
No, we weren't.
older men dating young women and young women dating older men. You don't get pregnant by them.
You know, another interesting thing about Kill Bill, 'cause that's one of my favorite movies, you know that the 5 people that she killed represented the 5 stages of grief?
Yes, that's why I watched the movie. It says it in the beginning before she get to everybody's house to kill them.
Okay.
Yes, I do know that.
Thanks.
That would have been good. That would have been a good way to frame it, you know what I'm saying? You know, talk about how the first one represented denial and then anger and then bargaining, depression, acceptance when she killed Bill, you know?
Scandalous but justified. Shout out to Beatrix Kiddo.
Good job, Jess.
I mean, okay.
I'm drained.
Damn, Lo didn't get her Top Dog Law in. Is that true?
Nope. Yeah, so salute to Top Dog Law.
Lo, how you ain't shout out Top Dog Law?
Well,
she had the perfect opportunity to do it. We're talking about Kiki Palmer and Demi Lovato dealing with older men. Top Dog Law.
But they do injury.
Ah.
They do injury. Okay. Anyway, we got a positive note, so we get up. Oh, first, let's salute to Khanna for joining us. And Jalen Rose for joining us.
I like that she can't get in. Yeah, keep her humble.
Salute to Top Dog Law.
Shout out Top Dog Law.
I was trying. Okay, so Top Dog Law, y'all know if y'all have any accident, big or small, y'all can call them. And yesterday I was talking to somebody at the Women's History event, and we're actually going to bring them to New York so I can sit down and go to lunch with them and meet them.
Because, I need to know if these people are real.
No, they really do have results, and I told them that too, and they're willing to come here and meet you as well.
What if we find out that Top Dog Law is also the record label? So what if we?
What are you talking about?
Like TDE?
Yes. What if that's really TDE and we don't know that?
What are you talking about?
That would be TDL.
What if Punch show up to the lunch? I don't know if it's illegal or not. We don't know.
Don't put that on me. I am not paid nothing by anybody.
Okay. All right.
Except for Top Dog Law.
Khanna, thank you for joining us this morning.
Salute to Khanna. They're really enjoying that interview. I see people hitting me up on social, and I saw people in the chat saying that as well. So
if you want to see the full interview, head over to Netflix. Also, salute to Jalen Rose.
Salute to Jalen Rose, man. The new movie that he has out. What's the name of the movie?
The name of the movie
is Southwest High. It's an actual series. It's not a movie.
It's a series. Yes.
Southwest High on Tubi.
That's right.
And it's already out now.
That's
right. Yeah, go watch both those interviews on Netflix right now. Okay, they should be up. They're both up on Netflix.
Yes. You got a positive note?
Oh, before I do the positive note, I just want to salute everybody who came out to Barnes & Noble Union Square last night. Me and my guy 2 Chainz, man, we had a conversation about 2 Chainz' new book, The Voice in My Head is God. He sold out Barnes & Noble's. So I had to leave him in there because he had to be in there taking pictures and all that other good stuff, man. But salute to my guy 2 Chainz, man, and make sure you go pick up The Voice in My Head is God, available everywhere you buy books now. And the positive note, man, it comes from Eckhart Tolle. I love Eckhart Tolle. Eckhart said, acknowledging the good that you already have in your life is the foundation for all abundance. Have a great day.
Breakfast Club, bitches.
Y'all finished or y'all done?
Woke up. Wake you up. Wake that ass up. Program your alarm to Power 105.1 on iHeartRadio.